It's one of the loudest venues in the National Football League. We're inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, home of the Chiefs. Today, we continue with a terrific matchup in the divisional round. It's the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen with you. That's Harrison Butker, set to get things started. Off we go on a rainy one at Arrowhead. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. On the ground, here comes Ashton Jeanty. And he will slosh his way forward on the wet surface for a gain of a yard. From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Intercepted on the second play of the game. Picked off by Leo Chanel.
We talked at the start of the game, Mike, the energy in this stadium, and now after that early turnover, it's certainly not going to help quiet this crowd. They clearly came into this game facing an uphill battle, and they've made it here even harder on themselves with that early turnover.
Now the first carry for the Alabama speedster, Jahmyr Gibbs. He'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards. In 2nd and 8. From the 31, here's 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Gibbs. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. A gain there of 10 yards. And the Chiefs have a first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
And the Chiefs are going to be set up 1st and goal. Nice run, getting them down to the 6.
Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Yellow. They'll run with Smith. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Hey, 15. Line. Go on, 80. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes.
Coming into the game, this is something defensively you have to be aware of. This quarterback gets a chance and he sees some daylight. He's going to try to take it in on his own. But not in this case. They were quick to react, stop him short. Now brings up 3rd and goal.
They'll go with the sneak. Trying to find any seam he can, but the push too strong in the middle. He didn't get there. It's 4th down.
Brings up 4th and goal.
Hey, Ripley. Yellow. They'll try it now with Gibbs. And he's not going to get there. They stopped him at the goal line. It's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, so I think, Mike, this is one of those decisions where the conditions and the elements definitely come into play. I think in a normal day of clear weather, this coach makes a different decision in this situation. But here, I can totally understand why he decided to be aggressive and go for it on fourth down.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 20. That's his first grab of this divisional round matchup, and it's good for the first down as well.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
On first and 10, it's Jeanty. He'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards. From the 21, here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Jeanty. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
They need to get to the 29 here, facing third down. Now they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up, and they fail through the air, and we have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
And it's a good, solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. On the ground to start, they give it to Gibbs. Down the sideline, past the 40. And he'll be taken down. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive. First and 10 now from the 36.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now Gibbs. And he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. Give him 10 more on that one. And another first down.
Well, after the nice run to start the drive, why not go back to the well and try it again? And that's exactly what they do. Have to imagine at some point now, the defense tries to change their look.
First down, and they stick with Gibbs. And he is fortunate to get past the line of scrimmage. Call it a yard at most. Nolan Smith makes the tackle.
You know, it's easy to sit up here and say, hey, just keep running the ball. They've been efficient, just kind of wear down this defense by 1,000 different paper cuts. But the problem is, it's only contingent upon your ability to keep the score down. So if you want to continue to run the ball this often, they're going to have to look to their defense to play really well.
There's a third down and 4. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. First throw of the game is going to be intercepted. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 10.
Oh, and in that spot, Mike, that's just painful. If the throw's not there, you want him to just get rid of it. Throw it 50 rows into the stands. Give somebody a souvenir. But worst case scenario, you've got to get to fourth down and have a shot at 3 points. But instead, after that pick, you come away with it.
The intended receiver was Justin Jefferson. And it'll be second down.
He's lucky this one didn't go back the other way, Mike. Bad throw, and defensively, you get a chance to steal a possession for your offense. You got to capitalize and make those plays.
Receiver in motion, going right. Run out of the gun for Jeanty. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
18 ready. Ready. On third down, they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
The offense just couldn't seem to get anything going that drive. They knew they had a long way to go, taking over possession that deep in their own territory. You want to pick up that first down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the errant throw brings up fourth down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Here comes Smith on the return. And it's a good return here. He's going to set his guys up with outstanding field position. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Gibbs. Down the sideline, inside the 25. And he's going to be taken down. They gained 18 yards on that one. First down, KC.
Nice job by them getting the back to the perimeter. Then he's able to get outside, stick his foot in the ground, and then get vertical. Write down the numbers. Those are the type of runs this offense wants to see more of going forward.
A run here with Gibbs. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. The Chiefs have it here to start quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd down and 6 to begin.
Yellow.
Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. Forced out wide. That is caught for 3. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown.
That's good.
That is a gain of 15, and now it's 1st and goal.
Yellow.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
57.
Gibbs.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
They'll run the sneak, and he's able to get the ball across the goal line. He's in. Patrick Mahomes. Touchdown, Kansas City. Certain quarterbacks have a knack for that, and he finds the space to get in the end zone for the touchdown, Greg.
Yeah, just a good old-fashioned quarterback sneak. Kind of a play that's taken the league by storm. Not necessarily the tush-push like we see up in Philly, but just as effective here, Mike.
The score, Chiefs 7, Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchdown.
Okay, ready?
On the ground, it's Genty to start the drive. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
He'll look to throw. And he might have waited just a bit too long there as he throws it incomplete. Looking to set up the screen, but the defense wouldn't give him the time.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
That's over the middle and intercepted. It's the former Cal Bear, Noah Williams. And his offense defense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Intercepted. The Chiefs take over first and 10
Yellow.
at the 31-yard line.
Handoff, Gibbs running right. And a nice run there on first down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense. And that's exactly what they've been able to do.
Here's a handoff to Gibbs. He gets free, and he will score! Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown Chiefs.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike. And you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched. And an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
And Butker on for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Chiefs move out on top. 14-0.
Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off 14-6.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. And that one is through the back of the end zone. It is a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
Got it. Ready?
From the 35, it's 1st and 10.
Ready?
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
I'm not so sure he would have picked up the first down had they connected either way, but still, disappointing outcome to not at least get a handful of positive yards on that last one.
Hot 70, hot 70, drop 60, drop 60.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up 3rd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop. And that's what you call a wasted series. They come out here and they decide, we're just going to air it out. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down. All 3 incompletions, and now it brings up 4th down. And barring some crazy decision here to keep your offense on the field, you're going to find yourself right back on the sideline.
No move for the punt team. The offense staying out there for 4th down. They will indeed go as they look to throw. That's incomplete. Daring Hall on 4th down. Does not work out. And it results in a turnover on down.
You know, I think there's certain times, Mike, throughout the game that call for a very aggressive style of play. I'm just not quite sure this was one of those situations, but I guess we'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of the game.
They'll run with Gibbs. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. It's a 14 on the pickup. Good for a Chiefs 1st down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
On the ground, this is Gibbs. A good, visible run, motoring forward for 9.
This offensive line continues to be very physical at the point of attack. They've been able to give their backs plenty of room to run. That's why they've already eclipsed the century mark here in the opening half.
2nd and inches.
Yellow.
Straight ahead with Gibbs. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. 3rd and short, 4th and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, and hand the ball to your back, and to say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Smith again. To the pylon, he's pinned. Rashard Smith, touchdown KC. Butker now to add the PAT. He's got it. And the Chiefs mistake themselves to a 21-0 lead.
Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off 14.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback.
35-yard line.
Here we go.
Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's caught. It's the tight end, Brock Bowers. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Gain of 26 yards.
It's a gain there of 26 yards.
Las Vegas. First down. First and 10 at the 30.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And for the 3rd time in this first half, he's been intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bolton.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. He just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
They'll begin this on the ground with Smith. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. Back with more of the AFC playoffs after this. Second and 5. Once again, it's Smith. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. Give him 14 on that one. And the Chiefs have a first down.
Kansas City Chiefs.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
Attack is going to be made down at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down.
Really nice job by the interior of this offensive line. It typically just takes one guy to distort the defense to give the back enough room to operate, and that's exactly what they did here, and it led to a big gain.
First down, they go right back to Smith. time, they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
And they're going to have a first down and are well into field goal range now at the 16.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
Now the Chiefs going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Mahomes back. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. We'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. Now KC going to use the second of their timeouts. Clock will stop just under 30 seconds to go in this second quarter. 3rd and 9.
Yellow. All right, go, Lou. Easy, 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 easy. Yellow.
Throwing is Mahomes. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. And it sets up 4th down. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go until halftime. He has to drive this through the rain, but he does. The kick is good. And the Chiefs extend the lead to 24-0.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
And their offensive struggles just continue to show up time after time here in this first half. It's going to be hard to sustain drives when you continue to put themselves in holes on these early downs like they did here.
Back to the air once more on 2nd down. He'll let this go deep for Jefferson. And the Chiefs are going to have it just past their 25.
And I think he just continues to show everyone why he's earned the reputation of being one of the best ball hawks in the entire NFL. It's just a bad decision to challenge him, of all people, in that situation.
First down throw, Mahomes. He's going to let this one go for Worthy. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half. 2nd and 10.
To 2nd and 10.
Yellow, yellow. There's a...
Mahomes. To the left side in the hands of Rice. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play. So we reached the intermission. It has been an entertaining one to this point. Back with the second half in just a moment. These two teams fighting to get to that AFC Championship game next Sunday. Back to it here, the 3rd quarter underway. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. The third quarter begins with a run. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. Here's Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line. That's his first grab of this divisional round matchup, and it's good for the first down as well.
And I think both of us came away from our discussions with the coaches thinking that this guy was going to have a massive role in this one, but after only his first catch of the game, let's give credit where it's due. This defense, man, they've held him in check throughout.
And he'll just hope to stay on his feet here, picking his way forward for a gain of about 4.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense, and right now is one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
Just shy of midfield. Here's second and 6. Now, Mahomes. That is caught down the field. It's Worthy. And they're going to get this ball down to the 20-yard line. A big pickup there for the Chiefs. 31 yards. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. Going back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down.
In order to be successful as a run-heavy offense, Mike, it's so important that you remain really efficient on first and second down. The last thing you want is to be in third and pass, and it really throws off what you feel like your strengths are. So now you get down here in the red zone, it's got to be touchdowns. These long, sustained drives on the ground, you kick a field goal, that's a win for the defense. Some defensive ends specialize in getting after the quarterback. Some defensive ends specialize in run game. This guy can really make an impact on both, as we saw here for that tackle for loss.
Third and 5. Throwing now, Mahomes. Exiting the pocket right. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with first and goal.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
Here's a run. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Greg, nothing changed at halftime. They come right out to start this third quarter and pick up where they left off.
Well, I think this defensive coordinator is going to think back to his halftime speech, Mike, because whatever adjustments he thought they made, it obviously didn't resonate. What we saw happen in the first half, they picked right back up here to start the third quarter, and at this point, the offense has hit its stride, and they continue to pull away.
The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Gentry. Ooh, some hitting going on now. He was rocked right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Into the familiar hands of Justin Jefferson. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules, and the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. A quick throw. That's complete on the slant. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short yardage. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there. Make things difficult defensively. It sets up 4th down.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns. Yeah, in this game, Mike, it's just gotten away from them here in the 3rd quarter. They're pretty much forced every possession. They're going to have to go for it and really press the issue. And I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough to get them back into this one.
Trying to start on the ground. And they smack him down there. Big hit right at the line. No gain.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They work just shy of midfield on 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. He'll go right and find his running back. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. 1st down, KC.
This is quarterback play at its finest, is understanding and identifying the blitz before the ball is snapped. That's what allows him to get the ball out of his hand so quickly, throws it to his hot receiver in the flat, and he does the rest.
Yellow. Right side.
A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll somehow turn this into an effort. Getting out of bounds after a pickup of a yard.
At the 38-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 9. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. Short one there to Okonkwo. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. He's able to look it in and get forward for a pickup of about 8. Third and inches.
Yellow. Right side.
4th quarter begins on the ground. A gain of 17 yards. Good for a Chiefs 1st down.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down.
He was taken down at the 10-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and
8. Second down and 8.
Yellow, 57 colors.
They'll stick with him again. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up 3rd down.
it's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Yellow, 57. All right, 80.
Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Darian Porter. And the Raiders are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th down.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's position. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd and inches.
Let's go.
Keep it on the ground with Genty. And he will have the 1st down. Not a huge run, but enough to move the chains.
So I think as you look back over the course of this game, it's really been the inability of this offense, Mike, to create any sort of balanced attack to get anything going. Whether you look at the rushing yards, whether you look at just the points scored, this offense has to find a way going forward to generate more big plays and more balance, both run and pass. A little surprising to see them keep the ball on the ground, especially given the situation, Mike. I mean, you're trailing. You haven't had a lot of success running the ball up until this point. They need chunk plays. They need to score, and they need to score fast.
Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers. But now it's going to be 3rd down. Now they'll set up to throw. This one down the field, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, like, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. He'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards.
44-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 7.
180.
2 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Second and 7.
Yellow.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Hero 15. Wait.
They'll run for the first time with their fullback. And he's going to have the 1st down. And that will not officially end it, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to be able to run the clock down from here.
1st
Wow, a little change of play call here, and that's typically not what we see at this down and distance. That's